this is the Mom series, The Misunderstanding of Multiplicity. I wanted to say hello and tell you that this channel is about multiple personality, dissociative identity disorder, what was once called MPD, what is now called DID. I usually do videos about multiplicity in the media, how it's portrayed. That is my entire focus out here, is how media continues to portray multiplicity, and psychiatry, and even people that are experiencing life as multiple every day, and myself included. I think that psychiatry, media, and all of us we need to hold ourselves responsible for how we depict this experience, because how we depict it is how it is then continually perpetuated. And when you get the media involved, it tends to be sensationalized in what is depicted. So we've seen in the past 40 years that multiplicity has been mostly following a civilian road kind of model, and three faces of Eve, that kind of thing, and with a little bit of identity thrown in. It's had a new name change in 1994. A bunch of doctors with the American Psychological Association decided to change it from multiple personality to dissociative identity disorder, trying to explain it more. But the more they tried to explain it, the more confusing it got. What they were trying to show is that it is a spectrum experience. It is a functional disorder. It works for some people very well, and most people are very, very subtle and under the radar, and you would not know that they're multiple. But then there are some that have times in their life that you would know. So it's all variable, and media has only shown one way, and books, and so this past 2 years, the United States of Terror has been out, and Steven Spielberg and Diablo Cody started this show, where they put a lot of research into it, interviewed a lot of people, talked to a lot of experts or doctors that treated multiples, and came out with this show, and trying to not so much educate as maybe stop the stigma of multiplicity. Normalized a little bit. And at first they were like all over the place and a little bit too sensationalizing it, and now they were coming down a little bit more, and I really think it's going to even out. I think it's going to be great compared to the way it started. I think it's going to be really great. So I'm looking forward to season 3. Frankie and Alice is coming out. Frankie and Alice will be out next week, this week, in Los Angeles. It's produced by Hallie Barry. It stars Hallie Barry. The cast is just incredible. I'm not even going to begin to list everyone that's in the movie. All top cast of actors. Hallie heard about this movie, heard about this character and the whole synopsis way back 12 years ago when she was introducing Dorothy Dandridge. She heard a friend of hers came to her and told her about, there's this great part for you. It's a black woman living in the 70s she's a stripper, and she has multiple personality and 3 personalities, and one is a white, racist Southern woman, and one is a little boy. And Hallie said she wanted to, she was very, very interested in doing it then, because first it was a black woman with multiple personality, so it's African American Sybil, and 2, it explores a black woman with a white racist Southern racist woman in her, living with her. So she found it very intriguing, and I guess I would too. I would want to explore how do they eventually get along. But she said they just couldn't find any money for it. Nobody would back it up. Nobody backed it up with real money. And I just, I think the real thing is that it wasn't marketable then. I just really think that Multiplicity was not marketable 11 years ago. I think that media had a bittersweet romance with with portraying multiple personality, and especially true accounts. Anything that rung near true accounts, I think media had enough of. And I think they knew that the audience had enough of it on the news, of it in interviews, of it, because there was like an overdose of it in the 80s and 90s. What we know as the heyday of MPD, diagnosing and it being in the news and being all over, it just sort of fizzled out and got really quiet. And that happened right after they changed the name to DID. And during that same time, though, the False Memories Association came into existence. So all of that, 2 years ago when I started this series and said, I'm going to give you a timeline, I'm going to stick to the timeline and show you why it's so important, why, Multiplicity was here, and then they changed the name. It was very sensationalized, and child abuse was not known of. Then there was animal abuse. Then all of a sudden it was okay to have child abuse laws. After the humane laws, there could be child abuse laws. Once there were child abuse laws, people were reporting it. Once people were reporting it, people were reporting memories. Once they were reporting memories, they were reporting trauma, and then and how it just progressed, and then how it fizzled out, and now how it's coming back. But Multiplicity's been around forever. I think we are just, we have times of awareness and times we are sick of it. And yet, for those of us living multiple, you don't get to pick and choose like that. So we've all learned to just, okay, the media's on to it now. The media, they're hungry, and they're after it any way they can get it, whether it's true or not, whether it rings true, whether it, so I'm hoping, I know I have a good feeling about United States of Terra. It's not going to be educational, it's going to be entertaining, it's going to be sensationalism, sure, but I think it's going to be closer to what a lot of us experience, because they have more time slot to work with to get a few things in there. Whereas Frankie and Alice, I think it's going to be the African American Sybil, and I think that Hallie Barry will more than likely be nominated for a Oscar if she doesn't get the Oscar, or somebody will get a supporting. Probably the doctor will get the supporting actor. It's just I'll talk more about it later, but it's coming out this week in Los Angeles, and then February worldwide. And you might want to get out there and see it. Kim Noble's book. Kim Noble was on Oprah Winfrey October 6th to talk about her art gallery and her showing, and her book All of Me is out. You can pre-order that in the UK, and I'll put the links up. I hope you all had a very nice Thanksgiving holiday. It's onward to the Christmas and Hanukkah rush, right? And everything else. Kwanzaa, it's all right around the corner. And lots to do, eh? Lots to do. And I just wanted to say hello to you all and wish you all a nice, happy Thanksgiving, and grateful for all of you. And grateful that we were able to come out here and do the videos about this. Grateful that we all met in this community and have supported each other and helped each other to figure this all out. And I wish you well. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.